Stay tuned for comedy and science fiction. Hello there, this is Victor Ives inviting you to join us now for the golden age of radio theater. Once again, we're going to turn back the clock and relive the golden moments of radio's yesteryear and bring you a couple of the greatest radio shows of all time. First of all, one of my favorites. Now, I've got to quit kidding around about Henry Aldrich because I'm getting letters from all over the country from people who think I'm serious when I say that this perhaps wasn't one of the greatest radio shows of all time. It's certainly one of the most memorable and I think fondly remembered by a good number of our listeners. This is a 1948 broadcast, November the 11th. And on this Henry Aldrich program, the Aldrich Family, Henry's efforts to get out of the doghouse with Kathleen's father almost give Henry's father a nervous breakdown. And later this hour, after you have roared at the antics of Henry Aldrich, did that sound convincing? We're going to bring you X-1 and a great story by Finn O'Donovan entitled The Trap. But first, let's look in on the Aldrich Family.
The Aldrich Family, based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone as Henry with Jackie Kelk as Homer.
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
The everyday life of an average teenage boy like Henry Aldrich is always a highly involved affair. And no matter how hard his parents try, they rarely seem to simplify things. The scene opens on Kathleen Anderson's front porch. It is Saturday afternoon.
Ring the doorbell, Homer.
Boy, Henry, if Kathleen's father had barred me from their house for 3 weeks, I wouldn't come running back on my hands and knees.
Homer, Mr. Anderson had every right.
He did.
Well, sure. Quiet, Homer. I hear someone coming. Wipe your feet.
Before we even know if we're welcome.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. It's a nice afternoon, isn't it?
It is?
Yes, sir. It's such a nice afternoon, we thought, why not come over and pass the time of day with good old Kathleen?
I see.
And her family.
Well, you're here, so come in. Kathleen, Henry is here.
She is? Well, my goodness, tell him I'll be down in just a second.
She'll be down in just a second.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, it's a nice afternoon.
It's good seeing you again, Mr. Anderson.
Again? Oh, yes. It's been nearly a week since you've been here, hasn't it?
Why, I think it's closer to 3.
You don't say.
Uh-huh.
Time certainly passes quickly under favorable conditions.
Did I mention that it's a very nice afternoon?
You did. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You're leaving, Mr. Anderson?
It's such a nice afternoon, I think I'll go down in the basement.
Oh, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Henry?
I just thought you'd like to know that this time I plan to keep an eye on my elbows every minute I'm here.
Fine.
Homer, stop walking around. I told you to keep your eyes on your feet.
I am, Henry. Gee whiz, I know exactly where they are. Which is the lamp you broke?
The table lamp there.
No kidding. See, you can hardly tell it's been damaged.
Homer, before it ran into my elbows, it was a floor lamp.
Oh. Gee, no wonder things get broken. Look at this toy lying here on the edge of the coffee table, right where anyone could knock it off.
Homer, put it down. It probably belongs to Kathleen's little brother.
I'm just moving it to a spot where it won't cause any trouble.
But, Homer...
Oh, boy.
Homer...
Henry, it went off by itself.
Oh, stop it.
How?
Whack that button gently.
Oh, boy.
Henry,
Oh, gee whiz. Yes, Kathleen?
would you please see who's on the phone?
The phone? Kathleen, I think it must have been a wrong number. Homer, put that toy back where it was.
Sure, Henry. Oh, do you happen to know where this little man goes in the spring?
Gee whiz, Homer, where did they come from?
Henry, I give you my word. I just picked the toy up and it came apart in my hand.
Well, fix it, Homer, fix it, or I'll never be able to look him in the face again.
Henry, if worse came to worse, you could tell him I broke it.
You?
I don't mind not looking him in the face again.
That wouldn't help, Homer. He always lumps us together.
No,
Now, Bob, come along.
Oh, boy, it's Mrs. Anderson. Homer, grab the toy and let's beat it.
Beat it, but we just came.
Homer, we have to fix it before Mr. Anderson finds out. And this is no place to do it.
Bob?
Quick, hide the toy under your jacket.
Henry, quit. I'm ticklish.
There.
Well, hello, boys.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Homer, aren't you putting on a little weight?
Wait, I guess it's the way I'm built, more or less.
Well, sit down, boys, and make yourselves comfortable.
Sit down.
Why, we were just thinking of stepping out for a breath of air.
Sure. I always take a breath about now.
Shall I tell Kathleen you'll be right back?
Why, that depends on how quickly... That depends. Come on, Homer.
It's been nice seeing you again.
Bob, you shouldn't have mentioned Homer's weight. The Browns are very sensitive about their shape.
That's strange. It's gone.
What is?
Herbert's toy. I put it here on the coffee table while I went down to the basement for a screwdriver.
Is that why I found you working that jigsaw puzzle?
I wasn't working it. I just happened to open it and... Phyllis, does this piece look like an ear or a mountain?
Looks more like a part of a horse to me. Now, Bob, I want you to find that toy and fix it. Every time Herbert picks it up, it practically comes apart in his hand.
From November 11th, 1948, you're listening to the Aldrich Family on the Golden Age of Radio Theater. Now, back to Henry.
Alice!
Yes, Sam?
Who was that on the phone?
The phone? No one, dear.
I thought I heard it ring.
It must have been your imagination.
Now, Alice, you're not suggesting I'm hearing things.
Mother! Yes, Mary? Please tell Henry to respect my property.
Mary, your nail file is family property.
Henry Aldrich, what a terrible thing to say. Mary, if Henry's finally come to the point where he'd like to use a nail file, I don't think we should stand in his way. But that's just it, Mother. He doesn't intend to use it for his nails.
What's that?
Look, Mother, there's a quick repair job Homer and I are doing in the kitchen, and a nail file's just the tool we need.
In that case, Henry, I'm afraid Mary's within her rights. Yes, and I stand on them.
Okay, Mary, okay. But just wait until you want to use my baseball bat.
Your baseball bat?
Sure, to bang together her vanity table. Homer!
Mary, did you hear the phone ringing a few minutes ago?
Mary's nail file is out.
Where I heard a bell.
Henry, why don't we just give up trying to fix this toy and throw ourselves on Mr. Anderson's mercy?
But, Homer, we're making progress.
We are.
Sure.
Henry, how many springs were loose when we left the Andersons 10 minutes ago?
1,
How many are loose now?
3.
I wouldn't call that progress.
But we got the little man back on, didn't we?
Sure, but he's standing on his head.
Homer, if he fits on that way, it must be right. Besides, I think a couple of the springs go in here, like this. You see?
Well, what about that one?
Oh, gee, that one could go any place. Here, for instance.
Well, I'll be darned. Henry, you did it.
I did? It's fixed?
It must be. There aren't any springs left. Gee, even the bell works.
Well, what do you know?
Henry, I never realized it before, but you've got a head.
Well, never mind that, Homer. Now let's hurry and get it back into Kathleen's house before anyone notices it's gone. Come on upstairs.
Okay, what for?
I've got a swell shoebox up there. We can smuggle it back in.
Operator, I distinctly heard the phone ring just now.
Father, could Homer and I please pass?
Oh, just a moment, operator. There.
Thank you, Father. Homer, we've got to get back to Kathleen.
Now, see here, operator. This is the second time this afternoon my phone is rung, and there's been nobody there.
I'll notify our repair department, sir.
I wish you would. Goodbye.
Sam, what's the matter? You're all flushed.
You'd think the phone company would arrange it so that when a phone rings, there'd be someone at the other end.
Oh?
What do you mean by a statement like that?
Nothing, dear. Only, don't you think perhaps you've been working a little too hard recently?
Alice, are you inferring... Are you... Don't be ridiculous. There. There it goes again.
Sam, that's the doorbell.
Oh.
Mother, the back door's ringing. Yes, dear. Would you please see who it is? I'm talking to your father. All right, Mother.
Alice, if you're going to talk to anyone, talk to the phone company.
Dear, I'm not married to the phone company. Coming. Oh.
Well, how do you do, miss?
Oh, my goodness, officer. What did we do? What did we do?
Well, miss, the police department's collecting old clothes and toys for Christmas bundles.
Well, my goodness. Come in.
Thanks.
Now, let's see. Let's see, what could I possibly give you? Would you be interested in some old pots and pans? No? Well, let's see.
Something like that old toy there on the kitchen table would be perfect.
My goodness, where did this come from? It must be one of Henry's old ones. But I'm sure he'd be delighted to donate it to such a worthy cause. Here.
Thanks a lot. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. And, officer, wouldn't you like to leave your phone number? I mean, in case I run into any more old things.
Bob Anderson, once and for all, you're not going to spread that jigsaw puzzle on my dining room table.
Why not?
Because you promised to fix Herbert's toy.
But, Phyllis, I've looked all over for it, and I can't find it.
My goodness, Mother, where is he? Where'd he go?
Oh, Kathleen.
Henry, I can't find him anywhere.
Oh, he left 15 minutes ago, dear, and he hasn't come back.
Father, you didn't say anything to Henry to drive him away, did you?
I hardly said 2 words to him.
That's it, then. That's it. He thought you were still mad
This
at
teeth
him.
here must be hair. I found part of a nose.
Father, aren't you listening to
Or
me?
is it the trunk of a tree?
Father, how can you play with that childish puzzle when you may be driving your son-in-law right out of my life?
What's that?
Mother, stranger things had happened, and I think the least Father can do is to let Henry know he didn't mean what he said.
Very well, Kathleen. I'll talk to him.
I'll answer the phone. Only if it's Henry, I'll just die of embarrassment.
Phyllis, where's the top of the box this puzzle came in?
Now, Bob. Hello?
Look, Kathleen.
Henry, is that you?
Sure. And look, something terrible has just happened. Mary's just ruined everything.
Henry, what are you talking about?
Look, Kathleen, the reason I suddenly left your house this afternoon...
Henry, I know all about that.
You do?
Yes, and just as soon as my father calms down, he's going to speak to you.
Oh, boy. I guess I better go straight down to the police department.
What?
Goodbye.
Henry, wait! Whatever my father said, I'm sure he didn't mean it.
But, Henry, I'm allergic to police stations.
But, Homer, we just have to get Herbert's toy back, and that's all there is to
I
it.
know, only these pictures on the walls give me the willies.
Just don't look at
I
them.
can't help looking at them. Say, Henry, look at this dead or alive picture. Doesn't it look familiar?
It does?
Sure. If you shave off the mustache, it looks just like one of our teachers,
Which one?
Miss Eggleston.
Homer.
Although, who'd want to give $500 to get Miss Eggleston back?
Here's the room where the sergeant said they're keeping the toys. Larceny squad. Come on.
Okay. But I'm expecting your father to defend me. For nothing.
Boy, are we in luck, Homer. There's no one in here.
Gee, look at all the toys. Look at all the toys.
Homer, stop playing with them.
I'm not. But isn't this a swell steam shovel?
Homer, look. There's Herbert's toy.
Where?
At the bottom of the pile. See the little man poking out alongside that tank?
Oh, boy. Grab it, Henry.
Stuck under something.
Henry, look out. Oh, boy.
Henry, I've got it. I've got it. Let's beat it.
Hello there, boy.
Homer, it's a policeman.
We'll get life. Look, officer.
Bringing some toys down for our drive?
Why,
Why, in a way we are.
That's fine. Say, do you boys have a little extra time?
Time? What for?
Well, these toys have to be packed in barrels and sent to the firehouses, and I could use a little help.
well,
It'll only take a few minutes. Just drop that toy you have there in this barrel and...
But,
we'll...
officer,
Henry, don't argue. Drop it.
Oh, boy.
That's it. Now, let's start packing the rest of the toys on top of it.
On top of it?
Yes, sir, and away they go.
Oh, boy.
You're listening to Henry Aldrich, the Aldrich Family on the Golden Age of Radio Theater.
And now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Early this afternoon, Henry and Homer took a toy from Kathleen Anderson's house under the misapprehension that they had broken it. When they finally repaired it, Mary inadvertently gave it away to the police toy drive. The scene opens in the Centerville Emporium. It is later the same afternoon.
Henry, if it were up to me, I'd let Mr. Anderson get mad and save my money.
Homer, I can't. Suppose someday Kathleen and I get...
Get what?
Never mind. But you wouldn't want me to go through my married life not talking to my father-in-law, would you?
Why not? That sounds like a nice arrangement.
Homer.
Besides, how do you know we can buy another toy exactly like her?
Homer, we can at least try. Here's the toy counter.
Gee, look at the swell stuff, Hen.
Homer, put that thing down. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
I'm just admiring the construction. What do you think this button is for? Oh, boy.
Homer, now look what you've
I
done.
hardly touched it, Hen. It came right apart in my hand.
May I help you, young man?
Wait, I just picked this up, see, and...
Oh, yes, that's one of the cleverest toys that's come into the store in a long time. You just touch that button and it comes apart in your hands.
It does.
It does? And when you push it again, everything snaps right back into place. Children have the grandest time putting it together and letting it fall apart again.
I can see where they would.
May I wrap one up for you?
Why, no, thanks. What we're looking for is a toy that has a sort of a little man on top, see?
What does it do?
Do?
Well, mostly it just rings.
Well, there is one under the counter here that, is it something like this?
Oh, boy, Homer, that's it.
Well, you're very lucky, sir. It's the last one like it we have in stock.
We'll take it, miss. How much is it?
It's, excuse me a minute while I check the price.
Henry, you're sad.
Homer, Duck.
What's wrong?
Look who's coming down that aisle.
Mr. Anderson.
Homer, quick, over this way.
But the toy.
We can come back and get it later. Hurry.
That'll be $1.49. Young man, where are you going? Well, I declare.
Excuse me, miss. Weren't there two boys here a moment ago?
Why, yes, they just disappeared into notions.
Oh.
May I help you with anything else?
Well, as a matter of fact, the reason I'm shopping... you sell jigsaw puzzles, don't you?
Why, yes. We're having a wonderful sale right now.
Oh, I don't want to buy one. I just thought, well, you see the puzzle in this box here?
Yes.
Well, we seem to have lost the cover with a picture on it, and I wondered, could you sort of look over the pieces and give me a hint as to what it's supposed to turn out to be?
No, I'm afraid I can't do that, sir.
Oh.
But if you'd like to leave it here for a few weeks, we could put our research department to work on it.
Oh, never mind.
Excuse me, miss, but would you... Hello, Mr. Anderson.
Hello, Mary. Say, if you run into Henry, would you tell him I'd like him to phone me?
Henry and I aren't speaking, Mr. Anderson, but I'll see that he gets the message. Is it important?
Well, Kathleen wanted me to apologize to him.
My goodness, what for?
That's what I don't know. Well, goodbye, Mary, and thanks for your help, miss.
That's quite all right, sir. Now, may I help you, madam?
Well, there was a certain toy of my brother's, you see, and I gave it away. And, well, my goodness, you'd think he'd know it was for a wonderful cause.
Well, what was this toy like?
Well, it had a little man on top, you see, and a bell that rang and kept it
Sam, it wouldn't hurt for you to take a few days off.
Alice, I tell you, I'm fine.
Of course you are, dear. I wasn't insinuating that. I just meant that when you start to hear bells, isn't that the first sign of...
Sign of what?
Nothing, Sam. Suppose you just lie down and I'll make you some hot tea with some honey in it.
Honey makes me lose my appetite.
Yes, Sam, but it lines your stomach. Henry, is that you?
Yes, Mother.
My goodness, what have you two boys been doing? You look all worn out.
Why, we took sort of a bicycle ride, Mother.
But they didn't have any in Abbott City either.
All the way to Abbott City? My goodness. Oh, I'm making your father some tea. Would you boys like some hot milk?
Hot milk? Henry, I think I'll go home.
I almost forgot. Henry, Mary asked me to give you this package.
Mary and I aren't speaking, Mother. We've broken off diplomatic relationships.
Now, dear, I think this is a peace offering. Homer, would you like some butter in that hot milk?
Butter? Well, Mrs. Aldrich, do you happen to have some strawberry syrup?
I think so.
And some club soda?
Yes?
Swell, and you can forget about the milk.
My goodness, you children never know what's good for you.
Henry, aren't you going to open it?
Open what?
Mary's present and see what she's offering for peace.
Homer, it's probably just a couple of handkerchiefs.
Henry, who do you suppose bought that toy right out from under?
I don't know. Boy, I sure wish I could lay my hands on it. Homer, what's ringing?
I think it's Mary's handkerchief. Henry, it's the toy.
Oh, boy. Homer, stop the bell.
I can't. The button's stuck.
Here, jam my fountain pen against it.
Okay. Henry, where do you suppose Mary got her hands on this?
Who cares? The important thing is we're all set.
Henry!
Oh, boy, Homer, duck that toy back in the box quick.
It's stuck.
Henry! You boys heard it that time, didn't you?
Why, you heard what, Father?
The phone rings.
I didn't hear any phone ring.
You didn't?
Alice, would you mind bringing it upstairs?
Upstairs?
I think the best thing for me to do is go right to bed.
Okay, I'll go up. Just hold the ladder steady.
I am.
When I get up, toss me the toy.
Henry, who's that?
Well, just Kathleen's dog, Daisy. And stop rattling the ladder.
But Henry, Daisy's resented me ever since she caught me eating one of her dog biscuits. Daisy, I apologize.
Homer, you're knocking me off.
Sit down, Daisy.
Homer, never mind Daisy. Toss up the toy.
Henry, she's got my pants.
Come on, toss up the toy.
There.
Oh, boy.
Didn't you have the window open yet?
Who is that? Who's there?
Homer, quick, run.
Daisy, let go.
Who's there, I say?
Homer.
Let go. Daisy, please stop being a dog in the manger.
Now be sure and take plenty of warm socks, dear.
Alice, I'm only going to be gone a few days.
Sam, it won't hurt to take an extra pair.
Very well.
And, dear, I just want you to know I think you're doing the right thing. There's nothing like a fishing trip to get bells off your mind.
Alice, that has nothing to do with it. I just heard that the baths were running, and I thought...
Yes, dear, if you say so. I'll get your socks for you.
I wonder if Will Brown would be interested in going along.
Henry, is that you?
Why, yes, Mother. Has there been a phone call for Homer or I recently?
From whom, dear?
Anyone? Mr. Anderson, say?
No, dear, no one's called. Homer, how did you get your pocket torn?
My pocket? Gee whiz, I guess Daisy did that.
Daisy? My goodness, young ladies nowadays don't behave the way they used to. You'd better both sit down and cool off.
Boy, Henry, feel my heart. It's beating.
Mine, too. Homer, do you think Mr. Anderson recognized us?
If he did, he certainly would have phoned by now.
Oh, boy.
Henry, that must be him.
Henry, please answer the phone.
Aye, Mother.
Please, dear, I've got socks on my mind.
But, gee, Mother, I'm not cooled off yet.
Henry, please answer the phone.
But it might be a wrong number.
Henry!
Yes, Mother. Hello?
Is that you, Henry?
Oh, boy. Yes, Kathleen?
Henry, I'm phoning on behalf of my father.
You are? Just a minute, Kathleen. Homer, Mr. Anderson asked her to phone.
I'm going home.
You can at least give me a little moral support.
I can do that just as well from home.
Hello, Kathleen. About your father.
My goodness, Henry, he's been trying to get his hands on you all day.
I know, Kathleen. And...
Henry, do you mind if I apologize for him?
Sure, but if you do what for him?
Apologize for being so rude to you this afternoon.
Kathleen, you mean... Well, I'll be darned. Homer, Mr. Anderson's been after me just to apologize.
What?
Henry, have you disappeared again?
No, Kathleen, I'm right here. I think.
My father would apologize personally, only he's very upset right now.
Upset?
Yes, someone stole one of Herbert's toys and then threw it back through our living room window.
Oh. Who did a thing like that?
That makes him so mad he doesn't know.
He doesn't? Well, isn't that too bad? Look, Kathleen, tell him not to worry. I know where he can get a pane of glass cheap. For nothing, in fact.
Oh, but that isn't what he's really mad about. You see, when the toy came through the window, it broke up his jigsaw puzzle.
It did?
And he's simply furious. He was almost positive it was going to turn out to be Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh.
Or the Canadian Rockies.
Huh?
So can I tell him you accept his apology?
Sure, Kathleen. Gee whiz, that's the least I can do.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Henry. And you can come over and see me tomorrow.
Oh, boy. Sure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Boy, Homer.
Henry, I've never seen anyone so lucky.
I'll say.
Henry, how would you boys like to go fishing with me?
Me, Father?
I thought it might be nice to have company. You've been asking to go for years.
Oh, gee, Father, I'd like to. Only, do you think I ought to leave town just when I've cemented my relationships with Mr. Anderson?
I'd be glad to go, Mr. Aldrich.
On second thought, I'll probably have a good time alone.
But thanks just the same, Father.
Sure, thanks, Mr. Aldrich. Well, I better go home, Hen, old-timer.
Okay, I'll walk you to the door.
Thanks.
Oh, before I forget, Homer, where's my fountain pen?
What fountain pen?
That I gave you to stick in the toy to keep it from ringing.
Henry, I never took it out.
Homer, you mean it's still stuck in the toy?
I guess so.
The one that went through the window and landed on Mr. Anderson's jigsaw?
On his watch?
Oh, boy.
Henry, what are you getting so excited about? That pen only cost you 50 cents.
60, Homer. It cost me 10 cents extra to have my name engraved on it.
Your name? Oh, boy.
Henry, Mr. Anderson wants to speak to you on the phone.
He does? Well, look, Mother, would you please tell him I can't talk to him now? I'm just about to leave on a fishing trip with Father.
From November 11th, 1948, the Golden Age of Radio Theater has presented The Aldrich Family. Now it's time for science fiction as we bring you X-1. This is a story written by Finn O'Donovan entitled The Trap.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, The Trap by Finn O'Donovan.
Samish, I am in need of some assistance. The situation is potentially dangerous, so come at once. It shows how right you were, Samish, old friend. I never should have trusted a Terran. What a sorry mess, Samish, and the plot seems so foolproof.
Hey, Thurston. Thurston, get up. Get up. Come on.
Why? What's the matter? Why?
Come on. It's daybreak.
Now, there's good news. Let me alone.
Oh, come on. You don't want to sleep through our vacation. The bird's on the wing.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning in the Adirondacks is the middle of the day.
What's the weather out?
Oh, it's raining.
For crying out loud.
Oh, don't go back to sleep.
It always rains on the first day of vacation. It's the rule of nature.
Look, I got a little fly rod with a new plastic reel that I'm just dying
now,
to
what
try.
The trouble with you is, Ed, you're in love with sporting goods equipment.
Oh, now wait till you see this rod.
Now, take that rifle I sold you. You could shoot a rhinoceros with it, but you won't, because, Ed, you're essentially a friendly man.
The trouble with you is you don't like the woods.
Well, how can you say that? Don't I come with you on a hunting trip every year?
Sure, but you always manage to steer us over to Lake Placid to the cocktail lounges.
Ah, now there's real hunting. Now, there are trophies to bring back to the city. None of your paltry brown bears or black bears.
Oh, come on now, Thurston. I came up here to the mountains to hunt.
Have a drink.
Well, it's awfully early in the morning.
Well, look upon it as an extension of last night.
Well, all right. Oh. Think it'll stop raining?
No, who cares?
Well, come on now. Get dressed. It's a perfect day out there in the woods for bear.
It certainly is. That's why I want to stay right here in the cabin. Ed.
What?
Pass the canteen.
It's empty.
Well, open up one of the bottles and pour it in.
Well, why don't you take it straight from the bottle?
What, on a camping trip? Pour it into the canteen.
Okay.
Hey. Now, this is what I call a hunting trip.
Well, you haven't been outside the cabin. Oh, come on, Thurston. Can't we go out just to hunt something, even if it's just a little rabbit? Look. It stopped raining.
Close the door. Now, you let some of the fumes out. Did you fill that canteen yet?
Hey, look at this.
What?
Right by the door.
How many times have I told you not to leave your collapsible cook stove where I can step on it in the night?
It isn't.
What is it?
I don't know. It's made out of metal. It's just sitting here in the doorway. It says, trap on the top.
What?
Trap.
Where'd you buy that?
I didn't.
Well, I certainly didn't.
Hey, there's a tag on it. Dear friend, this is a new and revolutionary design in a trap. To introduce the trap to the general public, we are giving you this model absolutely free. You will find it a unique and valuable device for the capture of small game, provided you follow precisely the directions on the other side. Good luck and good hunting. Well, now, what do you think of that?
Pass me the canteen.
If this isn't the strangest thing, do you suppose it was left during the night?
Oh, who cares?
Well, aren't you interested?
Not particularly. It's just another gadget. I've got 100 like it. That bear trap from Abercrombie and Fitch, the jaguar horn from Battlers, the crocodile lure.
Well, I've never seen a trap like this. It's pretty clever advertising to just leave it here.
Well, they'll bill you for it eventually. You care for the canteen?
Oh, thanks. Hey, look at this thing, Thurston.
Do I have to?
Well, there are instructions on the other side. Quote, take the trap to a clearing and anchor it to any convenient tree with the attached chain. Here's the chain, all right. Press button 1 on the base. This primes the trap. Wait 5 seconds and press button 2. This activates the trap. Nothing more is required until a capture has been effected. Then press button 3 to deactivate and open the trap and remove the prey. Warning. Keep the trap closed at all times except when removing the prey.
That's goofy.
No opening is required for the prey's ingress, since the trap works on the principle of osmotic suction and inducts the prey directly into the trap.
Well, somebody's been at that canteen before.
No, that's what it says. What won't they think of next? Osmotic suction.
Pass the canteen back.
I'm going to set it.
What, the canteen?
No, the trap. Come on, help me.
Now that's the trouble with you, Ed. You're always cluttering up a hunting trip with hunting.
Come on, take this in.
All right. If it makes you any happier. Hey, boy, it's cold.
Come on, we'll carry it over to that tree.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Here, let's put it down here.
You think we really ought to fool with it?
Of course. Here, take the end of the chain.
Hey, look out. You got your foot in it now.
Yeah, I guess it snaps in here. Oh, there it is.
Well, let's get back to the cabin. The great outdoors depresses me.
Wait a minute. I've got to press button 1.
Hey, it's glowing.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Now button 2.
Well?
I guess we just leave it.
Well, come on back to the cabin.
All right. It is time for breakfast.
It certainly is. Pass it to me and don't spill it.
Sammy, where are you? You are my oldest friend. I have already been you the beginning of my story. The Terrans accepted my trap as a trap, nothing more, and they began using it at once with no thought as to the consequences. I had counted on this. The fantastic curiosity of the species is well known. During this period, my wife was crawling giddily around the planetoid, redecorating our hutch and enjoying the change from city life. Everything was going well.
Ed.
What?
It's your turn.
Okay, here we go. Ready on the right.
Ready on the left.
The flag is up.
The flag is waving.
Target's up.
You missed.
Oh, Thurston, couldn't we just pull the cork out instead of trying to shoot off the neck?
Well, certainly not. This is a hunting trip. You can pull a cork off in the city.
I have often corked off in the city.
Ed, why don't you shut your trap?
Trap. Why didn't... Thurston, the trap.
What about it?
Maybe we caught something. Come on.
Where are you going?
The trap. There, look. We got something. We've caught something. Come on, look inside.
What is it, huh?
It's a rabbit.
You sure?
Well, look at it.
That is not exactly a rabbit, Ed.
It's the size of a rabbit.
But it's bright green. Ed, no more rum before breakfast.
No, siree.
Starting tomorrow, hand me the canteen.
What do you think it is?
Could be a rabbit.
Green? With lobster claws? And eyes on stalks?
Well, then again, it might not be a rabbit.
I think it's a new species. We'll have to build a cage and then find out what it eats.
As long as it doesn't drink. You don't suppose it drinks, does it?
No, it doesn't look like a drinking type.
Now, Ed, I'm not going to share my vacation with a green rabbit with lobster claws. Probably has dirty habits. There's something very unnatural about that trap. It's inhuman.
I'll bet they said that about Ford's electric light and Edison's car and the telephone invented by Alexander's ragtime band.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, sure. I saw the movie. Come on. We'll build a cage, and then we'll set the trap again.
Okay, but we better go back to the cabin.
What for?
We better refill that canteen.
From February 13th, 1957, the Golden Age of Radio Theater is bringing you X-1. Don't go away. Now, back to X-1.
Why haven't you come yet? Hamish, don't you appreciate the seriousness of my situation? Think of your old friend. Think of the lustrous-skinned Friedel for whose sake I got into this mess. Communicate with me at least. The Terrans used a trap, which of course was not a trap at all, but a matter transmitter. I had the other end concealed on the planetoid and fed into it 3 small animals which I found in the garden. The Terrans removed them from the transmitter each time. For what purpose I couldn't guess, but a Terran will keep anything. After the 3rd beast passed through and had not been returned, I knew that was all, and that everything was in readiness, so I prepared for the 4th and final sending, the all-important one, for which all else was mere preparation.
Ouch. Well, that finishes the cage.
You know what?
No. What?
Those things smell. All 3 of them.
Oh, I think they're very handsome. Well, here they are. 1, 2, and 3. First, our green rabbit. Next, our bird with 3 sets of scaly wings. And this other thing, what does it look like?
Well, it looks like a snake. Except it has a head at each end. They eaten anything yet?
No, I've tried milk, mincemeat, vegetables, caviar, potato chips. They haven't touched a thing.
Maybe they're sick. Hey, what are you keeping them for?
Well, they might come in handy someday.
Oh, yeah? What for?
Thurston, have you ever desired fame?
What?
Fame. The knowledge that your name will go down through the ages.
I am a businessman. I've never considered the possibility.
Never?
What do you have in mind?
These creatures are unique.
And they smell.
We'll present them to a museum. the daily Thurston exhibit of creatures hitherto unknown.
They might name them after us. Our names will go down with Livingston, Audubon, Teddy Roosevelt, Walt Disney.
I was thinking of a wing on the Museum of Natural History that would go right across Central Park West. The Daily Thurston Wing.
Thurston Daily.
That's not alphabetical.
That's true. But, Ed, we only got 3 of them. We can't equip a wing with 3 exhibits.
Well, there must be more where these came from. Let's examine the trap.
Just a minute.
The canteen?
The canteen.
We've got something. There it is. Look, it's about 3 feet tall. A big one.
A small green head and a forked tail.
Oh, look at him, waving something on top of his head.
Well, the rest were quiet. Maybe this one's dangerous, huh?
We'll handle it with nuts.
Nuts?
Nets.
Oh, nuts. All right.
And then we'll have to get in touch with the museum. Thurston, take a telegram.
All righty.
Museum of Natural History. Dear Sir.
Or Madam.
Have discovered at least 4 animals, which I suspect to be new species. Stop. Have you room for suitable exhibit? Stop. Signed, your friend Ed.
Wasn't that signature pretty informal?
You're right. Make it, your good friend Ed.
We better go back and build a cage for this latest one. It looks awfully exciting.
I think we'll make this one strong. Oh, this last specimen is the cream of our collection. Look at it. Its head is turning pink.
It looks mad, doesn't it?
Well, you'd be mad, too, if you were trapped by osmotic suction.
Say that again.
Osmotic suction.
Here, you take the canteen. I'm way ahead of you.
What, Sammy? The rest of the story? Well, it's obvious enough. After 3 animals had passed through the transmitter, I knew I was ready. Now was the time to tell my wife. Accordingly, I asked her to crawl into the garden with me. Tell me, dear, she said, has something been bothering you of late? Have I displeased you? My dear, I said, you have tried your best, but it just isn't good enough. I'm going to take a new mate. She stood motionless, her cilia swaying in confusion. Then she exclaimed, Freagle! Yes, I told her, the glorious Freagle has consented to share my hutch. And with a clever shove, I pushed her into the matter transmitter. Sammy, you should have seen her expression. Her cilia wreathed and she screamed and was gone. I was free at last. Free to mate with the splendid Freagle. Now you can appreciate the full perfection of the scheme. It was necessary to secure the Terran's cooperation, since the matter transmitter must be manipulated at both ends. I had disguised it as a trap, because Terrans will believe anything. And, as a master stroke, I sent them my wife. Let them try to live with her. I never could. Foolproof. Absolutely foolproof. No one could prove a thing. And then, Sammy, then it happened.
Did you get the cage finished?
Yeah, our 4th animal is snug as a bug in a...
It doesn't matter.
Boy, it's a mad one, though. I couldn't help feeling it was trying to tell me something.
Come on. Here's a trap.
It's empty.
Well, it is. It's empty.
You suppose something's wrong with it?
Well, maybe there's nothing else to capture.
Oh, that's silly. Why would it capture 4 animals and then stop? I've pressed all the buttons in the right way.
Maybe the battery's down.
Osmotic suction doesn't work on batteries.
How do you know?
Did you ever hear of osmotic suction working on batteries?
No.
You see? There you are.
Well, you got something there. Oh, I know.
What?
Let's go to Lake Placid and forget the whole thing.
No, this thing's got to work. It's got to. The first and daily wing of the American Museum of Natural History is at stake. Would you want that vast edifice across Central Park West to remain empty?
No.
Would you want the daily First and Wing to be rented for a garage?
Or a roller skating rink? Oh, horrors, no.
It's got to work again. I'm going to open the top.
Look out.
No, let's just see what's inside here. My hand. It's gone. My hand.
No, it isn't. It's right there on the end of your arm.
Oh, well, when I put it in the trap, my hand disappeared.
You know what would do you a lot of good? A little rest in Lake Placid. I know a fine, restful cocktail lounge.
No, look. I'll try it again with both arms. Look. No hands.
Very clever.
I see how it works. Thurston, those animals didn't come from the Adirondacks at all.
You mean they're imposters?
They came from wherever my hand is.
Where's your hand?
I don't know. Do you realize there's a lot more where they come from? Thurston, the future of the Daily Thurston Wing is assured. Give me a hand up.
And what are you going to do?
I'm climbing into the trap.
Oh, don't do it, Ed. You don't know what's in there.
Here I go. There goes my feet.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's a canteen. Let's have one for the road.
All right. Wish me luck.
I still don't think you should do it.
I do it for science. I'm the Daily Thurston Wing.
Why do you hold your nose?
I got sinus. Here I go.
Hamish, if you don't come immediately, it'll be too late. I must stop feeding you. The enormous Terran has completely ransacked my little planetoid. He has shoved everything, living or dead, through the transmitter. My home is in ruins, and now he's tearing down my hutch. Hamish, this monster means to capture me as a specimen. There's no time to lose. Hamish, what can be keeping you? You, my oldest friend, you who... What's that? Hamish, what are you saying? You can't mean it. No, not you and Friedel. Reconsider, my old friend. Remember our friendship. Remember...
From February 13th, 1957, X-1 has presented The Trap by Finn O'Donovan. In just a moment, we'll be back to answer a question about songs for sale. A Florida listener writes to know, what can you tell me about songs for sale? I had an aunt who was a winner on that show. Well, that show, Songs for Sale, was hosted by Jan Murray and later by Richard Hayes. They performed songs written by amateur songwriters on the program. The pros who performed those songs that the contestants sent in included Rosemary Clooney and Ray Bloch's orchestra. The show was first heard on CBS in 1950. Well, that's it for the Golden Age of Radio Theater. Victor Ives ringing down the curtain, inviting you to join us again next time we turn back the clock to relive those golden moments of radio's yesteryear and bring you some more of the greatest radio shows of all time.
For a copy of today's program, call 1-800-326-0296 and refer to show number 31. That number again is 1-800-326-0296. 0296. And remember to refer to show number 31